iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Hey there, everybody. It's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards. Get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. All right, I'm going to do some news and notes, and then I'm going to get to the NFC off-the-wall visionary predictions. But I want to tell you a story about what happened this morning first, okay? So this morning, I retweeted something I saw on Twitter that it said that Bell was not going to play this week, or he was out this week, or something like that. And I was admittedly going very quickly through Twitter, and I saw something, and I retweeted it, and I said, not good. So let me see. It was Ian Rappaport I saw. Stephen Colbert put out a statement. Bell has informed us he'll not be reporting in week 1. We're rolling with James Conner. I saw that, and I immediately sent out a retweet, and I wrote, not good. Turns out it was a fake account. So, admittedly, I was duped. But I'm going to tell you something. Let's make this a learning experience, you and I. When we get information out there in social media, we have to be very careful where it comes from. Who are you taking your information from? And I learned a very good lesson. I'm so glad I learned this lesson before the season started and not during the season, right? There's all these fake Ian Rappaport, fake accounts. I don't know why people think this is funny. I don't think it's funny. Well, maybe because I was the butt of the joke. But that being said, it was my fault about the joke. I could have passed it over too. All right? But, people take pleasure in causing misery of other people. Let's pay close attention to where we're getting our information. I won't tweet anything out unless it's confirmed from sources that I trust. If I don't trust it, I'm not tweeting it out. So that's my pledge to you at this point. Okay? Let's do some fantasy news and notes. Josh Gordon, 100%. He's ready to go. Marlon Mack looks like he is not ready to go. Evan Engram passed concussion protocol, and he's going to play against the Jaguars. So that's pretty good news. Dalvin Cook, ready to go. Austin Safarian Nightmare, dealing with a core muscle injury. I'm not sure he's going to play. If he doesn't, let's back off. Devontae Parker, out this week. So you have Albert Wilson, you have Kenny Stills, and you have Danny Amendola. That's who's going to play. Le'Veon Bell still has not reported. It is a nightmare situation right now for the Steelers. He needs to report. I don't know what he's waiting on. I don't mind that he waits. I really don't. I mind that it's time to get there now, dude. Get there. Okay? Let's figure this out. And then finally, Keelan Cole is going to start for the Jaguars against the Giants. So let's pay very close attention to that because he is a very good bargain in DFS. Speaking of DFS, scoutdfs.com. Okay? It is a tremendous website. We're very excited about what we have here. Our optimizer is just terrific. So if you're new to Scout, Opto50, get 50% off your first month. That's Opto50. Okay? The optimizer is really a great weapon. It's a weapon for your success. And I don't know why everybody doesn't use it. Whatever the site, whatever the games, whatever you're playing, you put a couple of guys in the optimizer, you click the button, and it gives you the best lineup to put in. Now, here's what we do. We don't just take the optimize from the analytics. We then take what we believe is our secret sauce and put it into the optimizer, right, to get the perfect optimization for your teams. Okay? So last year, it was dead on some weeks. It was freakishly on. So I highly encourage you to check out scoutdfs.com. All right, so here we go. The off-the-wall visionary projections. Arizona Cardinals, David Johnson, going to be as good as new. The problem is that the starting quarterback isn't going to be as good as new because I don't really trust Sam Bradford as far as I can throw him. I think Christian Kirk steps up and becomes the legitimate wide receiver 2 very early on. Julio Jones has come up very recently on some radio shows that I do. I'm not trusting Julio Jones this year. I'm not trusting the Falcons this year. I think he's going to miss a couple of games with an ankle or a foot. Look for Calvin Ridley to surprise. I think Steve Sarkisian gets fired. I don't think he's the right man for the job. And I think that Tevin Coleman has a big season. This guy is playing for money, and he is going to give 100% of his effort because he wants to get paid. All right, Christian McCaffrey for the Panthers. What about the Panthers? I think he gets close to 300 touchdowns. I think he's great. I'm worried about Greg Olsen, though. I know that people are taking him in round 7 or 8 of drafts. I'm going to take him, but I just feel like, I want to get the guy before the downward spiral begins. And I think the spiral for Olsen is beginning right about now. So be careful with that, okay? The Chicago Bears. I like Trey Burton. I think Tariq Cohen has a very good year. That's an off-the-wall projection. But I'm worried about Mitchell Trubisky. I think he's a year too early. Sometimes we could be a year early on guys, and I think we are with Mitchell Trubisky. He's good, not great just yet. All right, the Dallas Cowboys. I think Allen Hurns is going to be their leader in receiving yards. Michael Gallup, I think people are taking him. I don't like him yet. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's ready for prime time. Ezekiel Elliott gets the most rushing attempts in the league. That's a fact. All right, Detroit Lions. Kerryon Johnson going to win that job by week 6. Marvin Jones, I think, disappoints. And Kenny Golladay gets into the starting lineup at some point this season. I really like Kenny Golladay. Right, maybe not in the beginning of the season. Maybe the first 4 weeks he does nothing. But by week 8 or 9, he may help you win a league. All right, the Green Bay Packers. I feel very similarly about Geronimo Allison as I do about Kenny Golladay. Geronimo Allison may do nothing for you, but I really have no trust in Randall Cobb. So when I see Randall Cobb, I see Marvin Jones on the board, I want somebody else to take them. They're not bad players, and I'm not saying I won't take them. I would just prefer not to take them. So I think that take a look at Aaron Jones, who is going to do nothing. Aaron Jones will do nothing the first 8 weeks, but then I think in the last 8 weeks, he's really going to help fantasy owners out big time. All right, for the Los Angeles Rams, Brandon Cooks gets 1,000 yards receiving, but I think Cooper Kupp leads the team in receptions. How about that? I think Todd Gurley misses a couple of games this year, and I think John Kelly will be an interesting guy to own for a couple of weeks. And Jared Goff moves into the top 5 of quarterbacks. I really like what's going on with Goff. He's starting to take off, and now is the time you want to own him. The Minnesota Vikings. I think Stephon Diggs is a beast this year, and he's somebody you absolutely want to own. I think that Kyle Rudolph comes back and has a bigger year. Kirk Cousins will go to him. And I think Dalvin Cook, that knee is just fine. You can invest in Dalvin Cook. For the New Orleans Saints, I think Drew Brees throws under 4,000 passing yards this year. How about that for an off-the-wall projection? I think Drew Brees, with the established running game in New Orleans, throws for less than 4,000 yards, and Ted Ginn loses his job to Traquan Smith, who proves to out-Ginn Ted Ginn. That's my opinion there. All right. For the New York Giants, Saquon Barkley is going to be the rookie of the year. I feel very strongly about that. I think Evan Engram starts the year out slowly but builds, so don't worry about him. He may do nothing the first 4 weeks, but he'll be fine eventually. And I just threw out an off-wall prediction. Odell Beckham Jr. gets ejected from 2 games because he's just that crazy. All right, the Philadelphia Eagles. Jay Ajayi, I think he deals with injuries all season. Zach Ertz going to miss a few games this year. I think Alshon Jeffrey has fewer than 60 catches. And I think Nelson Aguilar will lead this team in receptions. That's what's going to happen. All right, the San Francisco 49ers. Matt Breida is going to lead the team in rushing, but Alfred Morris will lead the team in touchdowns. Marquise Goodwin, I think, is going to be the new wide receiver 1 over Pierre Garçon. And I think that Robbie Gould going to have a pretty good season there, too, for the 49ers. All right, the Seahawks. I really like Chris Carson the first 4 weeks. Then I like Rashad Penny as the season moves on. I think Tyler Lockett and Doug Baldwin's number is going to be a whole lot closer than we think, mainly because Lockett is better than we think and Baldwin is more injured than we think. So that's going to be a big problem. And Nick Vannett scores 5 touchdowns. So maybe he's usable in a standard league. Ed Dixon still injured. This guy's a non-entity this year. You need a flyer at the end of your draft. Maybe Nick Vannett gets you some touchdowns. And then let's see, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Don't listen to any of this junk. Jameis Winston's absolutely going to be the starter. Peyton Barber starts the year as the running back, as the starter, but then by week 5 or 6, Ronald Jones gets in play there. I think Deshaun Jackson has a terrible year, and Chris Godwin has a good year, and O.J. Howard makes the first of multiple Pro Bowls. He's a guy you want on your radar absolutely right now. Finally, Alex Smith passes for over 4,000 yards. I don't like Josh Doxson this year. I say he only has 38 receptions for maybe 500-600 yards. Adrian Peterson starts the year as a starter, but I don't think he finishes the year as a starter. I just think that his arrow is pointing down as well. And remember, my hint to you guys is the following. If I, for a minute, think the guy's arrow is pointing downward, I want no part of it. I want guys who the upside is there, the arrow is pointing up. This guy's going to do something for me. I don't want a game of musical chairs where I get the guy in his last chair. I just don't want it. I want a guy who's new and fresh. I may lose, but I'm going to lose with a guy who's young and fresh with upside as opposed to an old guy who I'm hoping will hang on for one more year. You start hoping for a guy to hold on for one more season, and that ends up being a disaster. And that's the big problem. Oh, I'm going to get another year out of this guy. Oh, yeah, he's going to be great. Frank Gore, he's going to hang on. Frank Gore is lucky to have a job. I mean, only Adam Gase has given this guy a job because Adam Gase is a know-it-all who's going to screw up Kenyon Drake. I truly believe that, by the way. All right, but right now it's time to put away the insurance cards, put away a copay. The office is closed, my friends. Please, if you're not a member, go to scoutfantasysports.com, enter the promo code ROTO1, that's ROTO1, get a free month of Scout Fantasy Sports, and let us help you win your fantasy championship. And if you still want to play fantasy football, get into one of our leagues at playffwc.com. That's playffwc.com. Join us. Be part of what we're doing. It's a great time. We're out in Vegas starting tomorrow. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. Going to be a great week. Week 1's upon us soon, guys. All right, this is Dr. Roto saying be well and take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!